let us continue with the discussion of karma, K-A-R-M-A, with reference to the time in which effects are worked out. So there's cause and effect. So how about the timing of effect coming out because of the causes that you have made? There's cause and effect, we call it causality. For every action, every speech, every thought, there's always a cause and effect will come out. Good effect, bad effect, neutral effect. So if we consider karma with regard to the maturity of effect, karma can be classified into 3 periods, we know that. Immediate karma, subsequently effective karma, and indefinitely effective karma. What is immediate karma? Immediate karma is that which is experienced in this present life. Subsequently effective karma is that which is experienced in the following life. And indefinitely effective karma is that which would be experienced in any future lives. Could be the 3rd life, 4th life, or any future lives. So indefinitely effective, depending on the maturity and the coincidental conglomeration of causes and conditions. So this is 3 classification, which I elaborated last time. Now, according to the intensity and priority of effect, karma can be classified into weighty karma, death proximate karma, and habitual karma. There's 3 karmas. What is weighty karma? Weighty karma is very serious, It produces its result in the present life or in the immediate next life for sure. It's very weighty. So according to Sutra, if anyone commits the 5 immediate sinful crimes, then it's very weighty, it's very serious. The 5 sins. What are these 5 sins according to Sutras? Matricide, patricide, the murder of an arahat, the injury of a Buddha, and the creation of Sikhism in Sangha. What does that mean? Matricide is not people won't commit that. Matricide is the killing of your own mom. Patricide, the killing of your own dad. The murder of an arahat, someone who's enlightened, who could enlighten others. You murder him. Now that's very sinful. That would produce weighty karma. The injury of Buddha in an attempt to kill the Buddha. Now that's a very weighty karma. And the creation of Sikhism in Sangha, that means in the Sangha order, in the monks' congregation, you're trying to separate them, you're trying to make sure that they are not working in harmony. Because the Sangha order is trying to promote Buddhism to all sentient beings, and you're trying to stop them, you're trying to segregate them, you're trying to create troubles among them. You develop a Sikhism in them. Now that's 5 sinful crimes. You will immediately get weighty karma. For example, at the time of the Buddha, his disciple Devadatta, as a disciple Devadatta, the Buddhist disciple, he attempted to kill the Buddha, and finally he injured the Buddha. But he's already attained psychic power, so he lost all his psychic power and was reborn in an evil state after he died. So that's very weighty karma. And if you have observed, if you are in this life and you have observed the 5 virtuous deeds, that would produce weighty karma too. One of the 5 virtuous deeds, good deeds. Abstinence from killing, you're not killing. Abstinence from killing, abstinence from stealing, abstinence from sexual misconduct, abstinence from lying, from slandering, from cursing, from equivocating, frivolous talks, and also abstinence from indulgence in greediness, anger, and ignorance. You don't do all those. And you observe them, and all your deeds were virtuous deeds. Then you develop this weighty karma, that you will be reborn in the following life in Rupadhatu, or in heaven, enjoying bliss. Although heaven is not the ultimate way to go, because heaven you enjoy extreme bliss, extreme happiness, extreme longevity, but you still have to go through samsara. You still have died when the time is mature that you have to leave. So that's not the ultimate. Just to remind you, heaven is not the ultimate way to go. Of course, nirvana is the ultimate way to go. Get away from life and death, the rebirth of life and death. Going to heaven is not the ultimate way. So that's weighty karma. Don't build up weighty karma. Very serious karma. And next one is death proximate karma. This is the karma which one does or remember immediately before the moment of dying. At the moment of dying, you remember something or some action that you have done at the moment of dying. That becomes very inferential. That's why in one of the sutras, in the Siddhikapa Sutra, Di Zhang Jing, in Siddhikapa Sutra, it's always mentioned that someone passed away, if you use his inheritance, his money, the money he's left behind, to do good deeds, and let the person know he'll be reborn in heaven or to good places. Why? Because of the effect of death proximate karma. You understand what I mean? If he remembers or does a good deed at the time of death. So if you use up all this money, John, you're dying, you have some money left behind, can we use your money to donate to charitable organizations to help out the poor? Can we use your money to donate to temple? Can we use your money for the publication of sutras to good deeds? And then the person who's dying, oh yes, please, I want to do this good deed. There's no point in leaving my money behind. I can't use it anyway. So I want to leave everything for good purposes. And he remembered it at the moment of death. There's death proximate karma. That is very influential. Even though he's a bad person, at that juncture, he will be reborn in good place. Maybe in heaven, or maybe probably not in the three vicious paths. What are the three vicious paths? Reborn as hungry ghosts, going to hell as victims of hell, reborn in the animal realm. Now he wouldn't be like that because at the moment of death, he had this death proximate karma. Now there's a story that at the time of the Buddha, there is a certain executor, execute people who casually happened to give alms to Venerable Sariputra. One of the disciples of the Buddha was Venerable Sariputra. He's already an arahant. And this certain executor who always killed people, he gave alms to Venerable Sariputra. Henry remembered this good act at the time of his dying. Oh, I gave alms to a monk, Venerable Sariputra. And he remembered it. He feel good about it. He feel gladdened about it. And he was reborn in the state of bliss, even though it's bad. But this does not mean that he will be exempted from the effects of his evil deeds, which he accumulated during his lifetime, but he's just postponed it. It will be postponed. It's just his death proximate karma is very influential at the moment of death. So that's very important. So it's extremely important that a dying person, you must know how to deal with the situation. You could turn the plight of that person who is going down to hell or to the vicious path into good ways if you know how to. So at times, a good person may die unhappily by suddenly remembering an evil act of his during lifetime, some unpleasant action. For example, in the scriptures, Queen Malika, a consort of King Kasala at the time of the Buddha, she remembered a lie she had uttered to the king to cover her misbehavior. And she suffered for 7 days in a state of misery before he died. That even though he didn't do any bad karma, but because he always remembered that bad thing. So at a juncture of death, you always tell the dying person, forget about all those bad things in the past. let go of it. So it's extremely important at the juncture of death, because there's death proximate karma. Everybody understand? So what is habitual karma? So we already have mentioned weighty karma, death proximate karma. What is habitual karma? Our habits, one's habits, whether good or bad, become one's second nature and form inferential karma too. There's a saying by some psychiatrists. They say, your future depends on your habits. In other words, your habits determine your future. Habits are very important. If you have bad habits, you won't have good future. If you have the habit of being lazy, if you have the habit of being sloppy, if you have the habit of being selfish, if you have the habit of always creating jealousy, if you have the habit of always agitating yourself with anger, you can easily get upset, or you have the habit of being very extremely emotional, your habits affect you. Very much so, it affects you. It becomes very inferential karma. You watch your habit. Now, at unmindful moment, one often lapses into one's habitual thinking. In the same way, at a moment of death, one usually recalls to one's own habitual deeds. At the time of Sakyamuni Buddha, there was a butcher by the name Chanda, a butcher, and he was living in the vicinity of the Buddhist monastery. And at the moment of death, of course, he was suffering, and he was yelling like a pig, because he was earning his living by slaughtering pigs. He always, habitually, whenever he killed a pig, he heard that kind of yelling for mercifulness. And it became habitual in his mind. So at the time of dying, he yelled like an animal at the time of dying. And King Tudagagami of Ceylon was in the habit, Ceylon is Sri Lanka now, was in the habit of, that king was a very good king. He was in the habit of giving alms to monks before he took his own meal. Before he took his lunch or dinner, he always give alms to food and to monks. So it was this habitual karma that gratified him at the moment of death, and resulted in being reborn in Tushita heaven. He born in heaven because he always have built up that habit. So habit is extremely important. And the saying goes, you are what your habits build you up to be. Your habits determine your future. Successful people have successful habits. So you watch your habits. Don't build up bad habits. For sure, get rid of your habits of laziness, sluggishness, selfishness, anger, jealousy, hatred. Get rid of all those. But it's difficult to get rid of the habits. It's difficult enough to get rid of your habit of drinking coffee, smoking. It's difficult to get rid of smoking. Have you done it? If you become successful in getting rid of that cigarettes, how come you can't get rid of all the other bad habits? Don't blame the society. Don't blame your mom and dad, your family, or blame yourself. Blame your habits for not being successful. Starting from today, after this talk, change your bad habits. They're no good for you. They pull you down. They're like maras to you. You know what maras? They're devils. They're devils inside of you, waiting to pull you down. Are you going to fight with them? Get rid of your bad habits. They're no good for you. So that is habitual karma. That creates karma. So, what do we have? So, there is also a macro perspective of karma. The micro perspective of karma is Vedic karma concerning the individual, Vedic karma, death approximate karma, habitual karma, immediate karma, subsequently effective karma, indefinitely effective karma. But there's also the macro perspective of karma, collective karma and individual karma. What is collective karma? We're living in this part of the world. So this country is our collective karma. This is Canada. This is collective karma. We enjoy the same air, the same water. We can walk the same land. Not everybody not all people on earth enjoy this collective karma. People, for example, who are in other countries, they can't walk this land. So this land becomes the collective karma, the mountain, the landscape, the fresh air, the water, the streams, the house, public school, hospitals, the roads. Looking from that way, the government, Medicare, public houses, theaters, cinema houses, all these that everybody can go and enjoy, they are collective karma for us. And of course, there's also individual karma. As I have given an example before, we go to Save On Food. It's a collective karma that everybody can go in there. All the goods are displayed on shelves, all marked with price tag and all that. But because of the individual karma, you pick and choose your own. Some people are rich. They buy organic, they don't care about the price because they got lots of money. Their individual karma is they got good karma. And some people, they always have to check their budget. I can't buy this is too expensive. I only have so much money to spend every day. I can't buy this. So you see the difference? In the collective, that is the individualistic karma, even though it's collective. So collective karma and individual karma. How come we have individual karma? Because everybody's action, speech, and thoughts are different. Why is he richer than me? He has a lot of money and I don't. Why is he more intelligent than me? Why is he has good look and I don't have good look? He's physically sound and I'm not. Don't be jealous. He cultivated these good causes before or in this life. Not Buddha who gave him all this. He cultivated all these things. Why did he become rich? In his last lifetime, he was extremely generous. He gave out. He helped the poor by giving a lot of money. He donated a lot. And you're so stingy and selfish. You all keep everything to yourself. You don't help. You don't render helping hands to others. But he was extremely generous. That's the cause. What's the effect? Becoming extremely rich. And why is he more healthy? Because in his last life, he didn't kill animals. He was so merciful on animals. He was so compassionate to animals. And you've been so cruel. You go hunting, fishing. You hunt the bears, the deers. You hang the antlers on the living room and enjoy the killing of animals. You kill animals for pleasure. You don't think you have karma on that? You think you can get away from karma? I was in my first year at University of Toronto. I was studying at University of Toronto. That was 1968, and I had to look for a place to stay. Being a poor student, because of the karma, I guess, then I had to rent a small little basement from an Italian couple. I think about $35 per month at that time, $35 a month, close to the university. And a gloomy little bungalow. And I shared it with one of my fellow students too, from Hong Kong. Two of us shared a small little basement. We have a little kitchen, and upstairs, Italian couple, The man was working as a landscaper in a big company, mowing lawn and caring for flowers and shrubs. And they were very traditional Italian people, very kind to us. We still remember them, very kind to us. And one day, in the first week, one day in the first 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, the women came down to the basement. She didn't come down all the time. And we realized the woman is always dressing in black. And we always try to figure out why did she always dress in black. And later we found out that she had some charm in here. And she always open it and always look at it. And we found that that's the photo of her son. And we inquired more about what happened. The son passed away at the age of 11. And she was so stricken with grief and so sorrowful that for the past 2 years, she had been wearing a black in memory of her son. And later we found out that when we go upstairs, we found out that there's a lot of deer's antlers, and the husband liked hunting, all the time hunting. And we have a discussion ourselves. We said, oh, that's why. He took away the lives of the children of the animals, and naturally he had the effect of losing his son. They were so much in grief. So don't kill, don't hunt. There's always karma to get you. We just passed the Thanksgiving Day, as I said. You killed turkeys in Thanksgiving. You ate turkeys, celebration for Thanksgiving. And do you know that turkeys also have children? You segregate them. You kill their children, kill their parents, and you're celebrating your own Thanksgiving for reunion of families. That's not fair. That's unfair. And you don't realize it because we've been doing it. We have been habitually killing animals for food. So, we've been talking about collective karma and individual karma. Individual karma. Now, give you another example. Like an earthquake. If you're not destined to die, in the tsunami in Indonesia, just 5 minutes before the tsunami, he left the seashore, went into the interior. He escaped the tragedy. Nobody knows why. Because he didn't have that karma, individual karma affecting him. There's collective karma, there's individual within the collective. You understand what I mean? And also, if you're always chanting, you'll have blessings. That's why we said always chanting. You know why? Because you're always connected with certain spiritual dependencies that would give you the feeling that, hey, you should leave, there's a tsunami going on. There's always chanting. Because there's bodhisattvas and Buddhas who try to save you. But you need the communication with them. Bodhisattvas and Buddhas are always rendering compassion to sentient beings. But are you communicating with them? It's just like everyone is a little lake, a pond, a lake. And the moon is always in the sky. The moon is radiating light with no discrimination. The moon radiates light, gives light, with no regard as to who you are. All the lakes in the landscape, they all got the light. But if your lake is all polluted, you don't get the benefit of it. It's not because the moon is not shining on you. The moon does not discriminate. I don't want to help him, I want to help her. I want to help this nation, I don't want to help this nation. Bodhisattva and Buddha don't make the difference. The light is all the same, always shining, helping you. Compassion is always rendering to you. But have you got that linkage? Did you clean up the lake of your mind, the water of your mind? Your water is polluted. Your water is wavy. You don't get the light. It's because of you, not because of the moon. So you always have to maintain that tranquility of communication. Always meditate, always say your mantra. And you also support your mantra chanting, your prayers, by your good deeds. You know why? Even though if you're chanting all the time, you're trying to communicate this peaceful linkage with Bodhisattvas. But if you're always building up bad, weighty karma, habitual karma, how can you get it? The lake of your mind is all polluted. You can't get it. It all depends on you yourself. Nothing to do with the moon. The moon is not making any discrimination. The moon is always there, shining, shining, shining. But it's the individual lakes that are different. Your individual karma. Can you purify your karma? Can you purify your lake mind? That's the thing you should do. You did it this morning. When we say Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. We did it. You can do it at home. All the time. So we got collective karma and individual karma. Karma is changing though, it's not fixed. So it does not mean that, oh, I got bad karma in my last lives, I'm doomed, I'm done for, nothing I can do. You know, I'm poor, I'm unhealthy, and I got a broken family, I have a divorce, I don't have a good job, oh, I'm finished for this life. No. You can change it, starting from today. Purify your karma. So we're not destined by karma. Fate is in your own hands. Fate is in your own hands. Because the moon is the same. The light from the moon is the same, from the Buddha is the same. But your lake, your mind lake is polluted. It's different. Can you purify it? If you say, I can't, well, it's up to you. Whether you can or not, you cannot, it's up to you. Let me tell you a story. There was an old monk who through a diligent practice of meditation, had attained a certain degree of spiritual penetration, or what we'll call samadhi, had a certain degree of samadhi, and he could predict the future of a person by looking at his face, the feature of his face, the color, the energy. He has certain power because of, after a while of spiritual penetration and concentration, you got that power. But mind you, that's not the objective of meditation. Don't attach to it. Don't say, I want to meditate because I want to attain that spiritual power. Oh, then you got a Mara in you. Very dangerous. Because the Mara would know that, oh, this meditator, he is greedy and he wants psychic power. Maybe I should cooperate with him. I have a little bit of psychic power. I enter in his body. If you got the spirit enter your body, you can't get rid of him. For the rest of your life, you will always be his slave. Don't try to get spiritual power. When it comes, it comes. Don't try to get it. Don't attach to it. Now, this is something just as a sidetrack to mention it to you. So, he had a novice monk, Sramanara, novice monk, who was about 8 years old. And one day the old monk looked at the boy's face and saw that he would die within the next few months. The old monk meditating and looked at the boy's face. Oh, he realized the boy, by looking at his energy, maybe his aura, he realized the boy would pass away in a few months, 3-4 months. He didn't tell the boy what he saw. He felt that the boy should return home to his parents so that he would be with his family when he was dying. So he told the boy, go back, told the boy to take a long holiday and go and visit his parents. He said, take your time. And don't hurry back, just take your time and go home and enjoy yourself. So the boy went home. 3 months later, to his astonishment, the old monk saw the boy walking back up to the monastery in the mountain now. When he arrived, he looked intently at the boy's face, and he saw that now the boy would live to have ripe old age, will have longevity. So the old monk was quite suspicious. He didn't know why, and the old monk asked the boy, "Tell me everything that happened while you were away." So the boy started to tell his journey down the mountain. And he told of villages and town he passed through, of rivers he crossed, of mountains he climbed. And then he told how one day he came upon a stream in flood. A stream, not a deep stream, a stream that you can wade across, maybe about 2 feet, 2-3 feet. He went to a stream in flood. And he noticed when he was wading his way across a flowing stream, he noticed that a colony of ants had become trapped on a tiny little island. Ants, a whole group of a colony of ants trapped on an island in the middle of the stream, is almost submerging down. And moved by compassion for these poor creatures, ants, who were going to die, he took a branch of a tree and he laid it across the stream, connecting the small little island to shore, to the bank of the stream. And the boy was holding the branch, and to his astonishment, the ants knew. So all these ants were crawling from the tiny little island across the branch onto shore, onto the bank of the stream. So he held the branch for quite a while, because there's many, many ants. And until all the ants have escaped to dry land, then the boy left. Then he saved thousands of ants, And then he went on his way. So the old monk said, "Oh, I know. That's why karma gave you the longevity. You did the good karma, and you changed your karma. You will now live up to old age. Your karma changed because you saved thousands and thousands of ants just by that action of compassion." So what do we learn from this? The novice monk had the karma of passing away in a few days because of his immediate weighty karma. This is immediate weighty karma of saving thousands of ants out of his sincere compassion. His cumulated bad karma is avoided, and they go on living long age. So you can change karma. So fate is in your own hands. We can avoid negative karmic seeds to ripen by purifying them, using the powers of purification. What are these powers of purification? These powers of purifications come from what? From meditation, from repentance, from discipline, from practice of compassion. Now, although this does not eliminate negative karma, but it can avoid the results to occur now, then when you can avoid bad results to come out, then you practice. And ultimately, when we practice prajnaparamita, we realize the true emptiness, the true nature of emptiness, and then we eliminate our mental afflictions and we go to nirvana. Then you'll be pure in all your karma. So you have to avoid bad karma first, postpone it first. So when you have bad karma, you always think this way: I'm burning up a bad karma. I'm paying a karma debt. That's the way you should look at it. If I encounter something that I don't like, it's because of your karma. You can change it. Karma can be changed. So the concept of karma tells us that we must be extremely careful on our deeds. Whatever you're doing, whatever your thought, your verbal, your words, and your actions. Your body do actions, your mouth speak, your mind produce thoughts. Always be mindful of all these things. Don't curse people, don't lie, don't slander, don't yell, don't get angry all the time, don't get emotional. Always try to help. Don't get greedy. Don't get jealousy, hatred. Get rid of these mental afflictions. Purify your karma. When you're always in the process of purifying your karma will be pure. And you always do your chanting and your repentance, then you will improve your karma. So don't think that a small sin does not matter. I've done something wrong, it does not matter. Oh, someone wants me to go fishing with him. Oh, it does not matter. I just go fishing just for one day. That's killing. So don't think that a small sin does not matter. Just as falling drops of water will fill a large container. A small sin is like a drop of water. When it always have small sins dropping on a large container of all these drops of water, it will overwhelm you completely as time goes on. Always watch your small little bad karma. Don't think that it does not matter. It really matters. Always build up good karma. If you have done something good karma, do not think that it will be forgotten. I've done something good. The beneficiaries of the karma may forget you because he doesn't care. You help a friend, you try your best to help your friend, and your friend just ignore you. Does not matter, because good effect will finally find its way back to you. Good karma will always get back to you. So with that, we end the 3 sessions on the concept of karma, and of course we can go a lot more in depth and in detail, but we don't need to. As long as we understand the meaning of it, we can always pursue further in other ways. For example, in internet, in some books. As long as you know the basic, you get what you give. Always be careful on yourself, what you're doing. Watch your action, watch your behavior. Get rid of the bad habits. That produces habitual karma. In no way, in no event should you do weighty karma. Don't do it. Do the right profession. There's some professions that you cannot do. Slaughtering, drug trafficking, illegal things, I don't have to name it, you know about it. Sexual misconduct, lying, cursing. Change all those. And then you will lead a happy life. Because it may produce enough weighty karma to change this life for the better. So you are the master of your own life. You are the director of your own film. You play an important role. You are the actor, the actress. You're also the audience. You're the director yourself. How do you direct your film? You write your own script. Try to write a good script. Don't foul it up. You write your good script onto it. Nobody else. Nobody can write it for you. Nobody can act it for you. I hope that you'll be a good audience, reflecting on what you have done. Be critical of yourself. You've done something, you'll be a good audience. You are a film critic. You'll watch what you have been doing. That's meditation. Why do you come for meditation? Why? Every Saturday, instead of going partying, instead of staying at home fooling around, sleeping extra for 2 more hours, Saturday, you always want to sleep more. You need 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep. You want to sleep more. Why should you get up so early in the morning and you come for meditation? You start that first step to change your karma. That action is a saintly action. You start to change yourself. Nobody can do it for you. You, yourself. That's karma.